Good morning! You're listening to 88.5 Z Radio. Siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw. With the program, Radio Z-eskwela, kung saan ang pag-aaral ay siguradong masaya. This is your school on air in organic agriculture production in situ. I'm very glad to be with you all. I'm your teacher for today, Teacher Charisse, from the haven of top performers and future leaders, San Miguel National High School. Today, we will learn about selecting healthy stock and suitable housing for organic chicken. Okay, make sure you are seated in the most comfortable place so you can listen carefully in our discussion. But before that, may I ask you, have you taken your lunch already? Make sure to have one so your mind will be alert and active to better understand our topic. At this time, kindly get your modules so we can start. Do you have your modules now? Very good. Please open your module on page 4. Let's check what you know about selecting healthy stocks and suitable housing for organic chicken by answering the following question according to the given instruction. Read and analyze its question carefully. Select the letter that corresponds to the best answer and write it on your paper. Number 1. Type of poultry house located in the middle of the pasture that requires a big area of land. Again, type of poultry house located in the middle of the pasture that requires a big area of land. A. Range type. B. Semi-confinement. C. Perfect confinement. And D. Complete confinement. Number 2. Type of poultry house that is provided with a sun porch. Again, type of poultry house that is provided with a sun porch. A. Range type. B. Semi-confinement. C. Perfect confinement. And D. Complete confinement. Number 3. Type of poultry house considered as a collective term of different housing style. Again, type of poultry house considered as a collective term of different housing style. A. Range type. B. Semi-confinement. C. Perfect confinement. And D. Complete confinement. Number 4. A simply designed chicken house is not made of local materials. Again, a simply designed chicken house is not made of local materials. True or false? Number 5. Before the chicken house is constructed, it is suggested that design is prepared to get the proper estimate of the bill of materials. Again, before the chicken house is constructed, it is suggested that design is prepared to get the proper estimate of the bill of materials. Is it true or false? Okay, let's check your answer. Number 1. A. Range type. Number 2. B. Semi-confinement. Number 3. D. Complete confinement. Number 4. False. Number 5. True. Who got the perfect score? Wow! Congratulations! I'm glad to know that you were able to answer those questions. Okay, you can set your paper and ballpen aside and we will start our discussion. Same with us human, chicken also needs housing or shelter to protect them from inclement weather. Suitable poultry housing is very important for successful poultry farming business. Poultry birds can be raised in both free-range and indoor production system. In case of indoor production system, it is very crucial to manage the environment. Poultry need accurate management and environment for better production and welfare. Whether the poultry raised indoor or outdoor system, make sure the well management, ventilation, lighting, temperature, and litter condition is considered. The purpose of providing housing facilities to chicken is to protect them from dogs, cats, snakes, rats, and other pests and thieves, as well as to keep out mice, rats, and other predators. In building poultry house, there are basic requirements. Number 1, it is weatherproof. Weatherproof poultry housing system will keep the poultry birds safe from the adverse weather conditions such as cold, rain, wind, sun, and others. Another requirement is a well-drained land not subject to flooding. Chickens are not fond of floods. Thus, chicken house must be elevated, or if not, any material should be provided for them to stay once the floor of the chicken house is flooded. Another requirement is having a good drainage around the house. Good drainage is necessary to avoid flooding. Thus, good drainage means providing environment favorable for chicken. Poultry house must have enough space. The building should have enough space for the birds to move. Transmission of diseases is also slower if there is enough space and if the chicken house is not crowded. Chicken house must be easy to clean out. Poultry house must be cleaned regularly to avoid odor and to avoid possible source of infection. And last but not the least, poultry house must be provided with solid door and lock. Let us now go to the 3 common types of poultry houses practiced in the Philippines. Number 1, range type. This type of poultry house is located in the middle of the pasture. It requires a big area of land. It is rearing or raising chicken by letting them loose on ground. In this type of housing system, animals were able to run freely outdoors rather than being confined to an enclosure for 24 hours a day. This method is oldest of all and has been used for centuries by general farmers where there is no shortage of land. This system allows great but not unlimited space to the birds where they can find an appreciable amount of food. As you can see in this image, the birds were provided with a larger place to run. This area here and here are provided wherein chicken can look for food. But even if they are free range, there's still a chicken house here and here in which this chicken can go when the weather is not favorable for them. The second type of poultry house is the semi-confinement type. This type of housing provided a sun porch. As the name indicates, birds are halfway reared in houses and halfway on ground or range. Example, birds are confined to houses in night or as per need. They are also given access to run. This housing system is adopted where the amount of free space available is limited. This picture shows the semi-confinement type. This limited space here and here is intended for the birds to have their runs, but at night they are being kept or confined in these houses. The third type of housing is the complete confinement type. This type of house is a collective term for the different housing which is now used by poultry raisers. Birds are totally confined to their houses either on ground or floor or on wire netting floor in cages. They may vary in the type of roof, floor, size of the construction, and size of the pen. In this system, the birds are confined to the house entirely, with no access to land outside. This is usually adopted where land is limited and expensive. In this image, these birds here and here are confined to these houses and they are not given an access to the land outside. Do you have any question? Clarification? Okay, if there's none,
stay tuned at 88.5 Z Radio. We will be right back after these few reminders.
The Radyo Z-eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Panaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corvada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertadazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
Welcome back! You're still listening to 88.5 Z Radio with the program Radyo Z-eskwela. And now let's continue.
let's now discuss the different type of roofs used in poultry houses. Number 1, the shed or single span type. Small construction that makes use of the simplest materials. This type of roof only slopes down in one direction. It is sometimes used on a lower roof and ties into a wall or upper, steeper roof. With this image, the roof slopes in the right side only, and it is being attached to the wall. That is the shed or single span type. The second type of roof being used is the gable junior double span. It is the most common type of roof system. The term gable refers to the triangle spot that is being formed when the two pitch areas of the roof meet. With this illustration, we can say that this type of roof is the type mostly used, not just with a chicken house, but also with other buildings, in schools, classrooms, or even our houses. The third type of roof style is the monitor type. Ideal for big establishment, especially in commercial farms. It is a double span with an outlet of air at the top of the roof. This portion here, and here are the outlet of air provided to give proper ventilation to the poultry house, since ventilation is necessary for the growth of chicken. The last type of roof style is the semi-monitor type. Similar to the monitor type, except that the outlet of air is made on one side only. This space here, and here is the only outlet of air provided. Unlike the monitor type, which both sides, the left and the right, is provided with an outlet of air. Do you have any question? Okay, so if there's none, let's continue with this activity. Please get your paper and ball pen. Let's check if you understand our discussion. Kindly open your module on page 13. Let's answer the activity and see what you can do. Instruction. Draw the different type of roofs used in poultry houses. Draw it inside the box. Write at least 3 sentences about that roof type. Use 1 whole sheet of paper for this activity. How will you draw shed or single span type? How about the gable junior double span type? How will you draw the monitor type? And last but not the least, how will you draw the semi-monitor type? Okay, I will give you 10 minutes for this activity, and your time starts now. Okay, your time is up. Let's check your answer. How did you draw the shed or single span? Very good. The roof slopes to one direction only, and it looks like this one. How about the gable junior double span type? Yes, that's it. A roof that forms a triangle. It looks this way. How about the monitor type? Very well. The monitor type looks like this. It has an outlet of air in both sides. How about the semi-monitor type? Yes, it looks similar with monitor type, only that one side is provided with the outlet of air. Who got the 4 drawings correct? Wow! Congratulations to all of you who got it correct. I'm glad to know that you really understand our discussion. Okay, let's continue with our next topic. Nowadays, many people become health conscious. They want to live their life free or far from any danger. They change their way of living by changing their lifestyle, starting to adapt organic farming. They begin raising organic chicken to help them achieve a simpler and healthier life for their families. They want fresh eggs and chicken meat without the added antibiotics, steroids, and other additives that often accompany the store-bought meat and eggs that you find in the market. Let's learn now the indicators of a healthy chicks. Do you think it is important to learn how to identify healthy chicken? Yes, very good. It is very important to learn how to identify a healthy chicken because learning what to look out for could help you know if your bird is sick and help you provide treatment before it's too late. By doing so, you can avoid wasting money buying a sick bird only for it to die soon afterwards. An important step in building a healthy flock is selecting the healthiest chicks. But how can you tell which chicks to pick? What are the indicators of a healthy chicks? Let's find it out with our next topic. It is better to regularly examine each individual bird for signs of ill health. A physical examination is the best way to find out how healthy your birds are. There are acceptable indicators of a healthy chicken stock. Number 1, bright eyes. While examining the bird, check the eyes. A healthy chick's eyes are open, alert, bright, and clear. An unhealthy chick may have a 1,000-mile stare and may not react when approached and may appear sleepy most of the time. The second indicator is a clean, downy feathers. Another sign of a healthy chicken is shiny feathers, which have a nice shine to them. The third indicator is uniformity in size. Stocks must be 90% to 95% uniform in size. A healthy chicken or chick is alert. They are usually alert and active when it's not sleeping. When they are awake, they are active, eating, drinking, pooping and exploring the environment. When approached, a healthy chick will react by running away, avoiding capture. Any bird that shows signs of excessive drowsiness or lethargy should be examined. Watch out for any bird that sits away from the rest of the flock, with its head tucked in close to the body and in a hunched-up pose. A healthy chick as well is a 21-day-old chicks from the organic farm. At 21 days old, chicks are strong enough to stay on ground and ready for range. The biggest mortality comes from day 1 to day 20 of the chick's life cycle. The sixth indicator are the chick's legs and feet. A healthy chick's feet and legs will be straight and they will stand tall. A chick with crooked toes or legs positioned oddly will need special care, and while it may not be necessary and healthy, such deformities sometimes signal other underlying conditions that cannot be seen and may not be capable of correction. The next indicator is the posture. A healthy chicken will stand tall and walk with ease. An unhealthy or physically challenged chick may have difficulty standing or walking. Another indicator is the navel. A chick's navel should be completely closed and clean. It should not have red, oozing, and no crust, egg yolk, or stringy attachments. The last indicator is the vent. A healthy chick has a clean vent. The vent is the opening from which droppings are eliminated and eggs emerge eventually. The vent is the opening from which chicken pass bodily waste and from which hens pass eggs. The belly button or the navel is located just beneath the vent. So, that's it. We're done with the discussion. Do you have any questions? Clarifications? So I believe there's none. Now let's have a quiz to test what you have learned. But before we proceed, let's have a short recap on what we have discussed. With today's discussion, you have learned the following. The common types of poultry houses. We have the range type, semi-confinement type, and the complete confinement. We also discussed the different types of roofs used in poultry houses. The shed or single span type, gable junior double span, monitor type, and semi-monitor type. We also have discussed the different acceptable indicators in selecting good healthy chicks, which includes the following: bright eyes, clean downy feathers, uniformity in size, alert, 21-day-old chicks from the organic farm, legs and feet, posture, navel, and vent.
Stay tuned at 88.5 Z Radio. We will be right back after these few reminders.
The Radyo Z-eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corvada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
Welcome back! You're still listening to 88.5 Z Radio with the program Radyo Z-eskwela. And now let's continue.
And now, kindly open your module on page 14 and let's answer the assessment. Read and analyze the statement carefully. Choose the letter which corresponds to the best answer. Write your answers on your paper. Number 1. Which of the following is a characteristic of a healthy chicks? Again, which of the following is a characteristic of a healthy chicks? A. Dull eyes. B. Blur eyes. C. Bright eyes. And D. Bulge eyes. Number 2. How many percent of uniformity of a chick to be considered as healthy? Again, how many percent of uniformity of a chick to be considered as healthy? A. 75 to 80%. B. 80 to 85%. C. 85 to 90%. And D. 90 to 95%. Number 3. It is the opening wherein the bodily waste pass through and from which hence pass eggs. Again, it is the opening wherein the bodily waste pass through and from which hence pass eggs. A. Vent. B. Navel. C. Nasal. And D. Anus. Number 4. How many days old the chicks can be considered as strong enough to stay on ground and ready for range? Again, how many days old the chicks can be considered as strong enough to stay on ground and ready for range? A. 21 days old. B. 18 days old. C. 20 days old. And D. 12 days old. Number 5. This type of roof only slopes down in one direction. Again, this type of roof only slopes down in one direction. A. Semi-monitor type. B. Gable Junior double span type. C. Monitor type. And D. Shed or single span. Okay, let's check your answers. Number 1, C. Bright eyes. Number 2, D. 90% to 95%. Number 3, A. Vent. Number 4, A. 21 days old. Number 5, D. Shed or single span. How many of you got the correct answer? Wow, very good. Congratulations for those who got perfect score and better luck next time for those who got low scores. Okay, as your assignment, write a short reflection about our discussion for this afternoon. Write your answer in a clean sheet of paper. If you have any clarifications, just send me a message through our group chat. And with that, we are done with the first lesson this afternoon. I hope you're still with me in our next session here on Z-eskwela on Z Radio. Siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw. Again, this is Teacher Charisse leaving you with these words to ponder. Sa organic farming, buhay ay siguradong hindi boring. Keep safe, everyone!
Radyo Z-eskwela Executive Committee. The School's Division Superintendent, Eufemia T. Gamutin Saso 5. Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Romel R. Handayan. OIC Curriculum Implementation Division Chief Karina S. Frasco. School Governance and Operations Division Chief Dr. Ruben J. Riponte. Members: Cecilia Morales, Dr. Hilda A. Opeña, Dr. Arlene B. Lim, Dr. Eldicris B. Calzadora, Dr. Dexter A. Siquinia, Nohara O. Pinute, Noemi P. Canales, Dr. Grace D. Pontillas, Virgilito C. Pabrices, Juanito Lapiceros, Engineer Norberto S. Manlangi, Jomar M. Dumupoy, Bob Dalan S. Milabat, Medar T. Ampit, and Paz Eugenia Villusino. Technical Working Committee, Productions and Communications, Lorely E. Quijano, Given G. Hinampas, Judyland D. Yu, Donna D. T. Bolifer, Mary Rose N. Resma, Riwen Manuel, Irene Lea C. Manguhon, and Bessie Aya N. Banians. Social Media and Packaging Team, Christian Anhara L. Martesio, William R. Ranara, Joan T. Iscoton, Roberto S. Acusar Jr., May B. Istaniol, Richard H. Arellano, Clee L. S. Blanco, Ralph A. Tabanyag, Angelo Gutierrez Jr., and Jade Karen Arais.